Oh, hello again. Welcome everyone back to my channel. It's good to be back in FPV. It's good to be back trying to figure out all this new technology, coming back into it the way that I originally wanted to be into FPV, flying this cool freaking radio. Oh my god. And also getting these setups clean and flying good. But I have been having some issues with ESCs, especially BLHeli32 ESCs that run the F5 whatever CPU instead of the F3 CPU that is so much better. So certain ESCs that run the F3 chip in it that I can think of off the top of my head is the Pro32, the FLiR32, I can't remember the manufacturer of that. There's a couple more out there, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But majority of the ESCs that are made nowadays, or as of right now, like the Hobbywing 60 amp and the older 45, 50 amp Hobbywing ESC, and also this thing right here, the Flywoo Goku, they all have the older F05 chip in it. Basically, it's just an older chip. Didn't really affect flight characteristics before, but I feel like now is a different story. What I'm having issues with is video noise. As you can see, this ESC has 2 capacitors on it, and it still had video noise with analog. So what I've been noticing is that when it comes to these ones, there's certain Betaflight settings that you should pay attention to. And I'm about to go over those right now. But first, I just want to make sure that we kind of go over why these are kind of necessary and what it's really made for. What I am flying right now is Betaflight 4.2.2, and what I've been noticing is that when you run the 8K PID loop sampling and also the RPM filtering, is that some of these ESCs just don't agree with it, and you have to turn down some of the BLHeli32 settings. You have to turn down the BLHeli32 settings just for these to perform the way that you want them to. I don't think that it's really that bad of an issue, but it's definitely something to know before, just going out and flying. I had this quad right here freak out on me because it wanted to kill me. Just started oscillating on the ground, flew up into the air without me giving any throttle, and yeah, I just wouldn't do anything. But what I have noticed with the Hobbywing, I run a couple settings and I put it on here and it flies super good, flies super clean. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Alright, so BLHeli32, if you can see here, this is the reason why I love Android so much. I got BLHeli32. I tune in the field. I also set up my BLHeli32 settings in the field. Pretty much whatever I need to do, I set there. If you notice that some of these settings do look kind of weird, especially for people who are used to just pumping up the motor timing and the PWM frequency up to the roof, which is 30-31 degrees on motor timing, and also for the PWM frequency can go all the way up to 48. But what I have noticed is that when you do that and you have somewhat normal to very high PIDs to get that super locked in nth degree feel, you get some really weird flight characteristics that come back. So what's really good about BLHeli32 is you're able to tune these things out, because I don't think you're able to do that in BLHeli S. So basically what I have here, instead of running the highs, I have motor timing set to 24, PWM frequency to 28, and everything else is pretty much the same. Ramp up power 70%. I also have my brake on stop up to 83%, and yeah, that's pretty much anything else is pretty normal from what you get from factory or stock. So you can sit there and then mess with these, also mess with your Betaflight settings, your tune and everything like that, but this has definitely helped when it comes to just tuning your quad, being able to get all that weird nasty video noise out if you're using analog, but if you're on digital you do see these weird like micro twitches. This has helped me. No scientific data behind it, but if you guys have any input, would love to hear it, because this is still an ongoing thing for me. I'm still like trying to figure this out. So yeah, hopefully within the next couple weeks I'll be able to do a couple more tutorials, always with the flight footage. I'm always gonna have some flight footage for you guys. But yeah, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is some other Betaflight settings for Betaflight 4.2 that could definitely help you get your quad to fly better. So thanks, have a good one, peace.